We'll start with analysing argument. So first of all, we need to know what argument is. What is argument? We can define argument as the offering of reasons to support a conclusion. Analysis of argument for hacking purposes has 4 steps. Analysis step 1 involves answering the question, is it an argument? In short, it's about spotting when argument is taking place. We need to know whether the text we're reading presents an argument or information or a descriptive narrative, because not all text does the same thing, remember. The most basic rule of identifying argument is this: if there is no conclusion, there is no argument. So our first hack for spotting argument is to ask whether there is some attempt to persuade, or whether the text is just a narrative or providing information. Pause on each of the 2 images coming up now and see if you can spot relatively quickly, just relying on your sense of language, whether argument is present or not. Hopefully, you spotted that the first piece of text, banged up, contains no argument, and hopefully you spotted that the second piece of text, the naked truth, contains argument. You might have discerned the presence or absence of argument from 2 main clues. The first would be the language. In the second text, words like hence and however are argument indicator words. The second thing you might have noticed is the relationship between statements in the text. In the first text, the statements are strung together in a narrative of information. In the second text, the statements seem to be put together in ways that aim to persuade of something. And you can know this even without reading the entire original text from which this snippet of argument is taken. So let's turn what we've said so far into 3 little hacks for spotting whether or not argument is taking place. Let's look more closely at indicator words. Pause here and look at this image of common indicator words. You'll quickly see why these words signal conclusions, reasons, and the moves between them, and that you're pretty familiar with them from your everyday life of reading. These are only indicators though. They give you a useful first impression, but they won't always be reliable, so we need to rely in the final analysis on hack 3. Remember that if there's no conclusion, there's no argument. And this hack 3, is there a conclusion, turns out also to be step 2 of analysing argument. In other words, identifying the conclusion.